Hello, everybody. I am Glenn Cole, co-founder and chairman of 72andSunny. Welcome to the Sunnyside series. We're coming to you live from NFL House today here at Super Bowl week in New Orleans. Very cool. We're celebrating the intersection of sport, culture, and fandom for the week before we just get into the pure sports stuff on Sunday. Go Birds. All right, I am joined here by my friend and flag football legend, QB1 for Team USA, Vanita Krouch. Let's go.
Thanks for having me.
Coming off a championship this past August, I believe.
Yes, our third gold medal, the World Championships, back to back to back.
I'm going to do another one because you said our gold medal, and I feel like when you said our, I felt like you meant us because it's Team USA, not just you guys.
It's definitely us. It's for all of
Fuck
USA
yeah.
in the future.
Totally, man. For some folks who don't, who are getting to know you and your story, just give me the run-up of how you got into flag.
The run-up of how I got into flag is flag football wasn't available in high school for us the way it is for the girls now. So I played my traditional volleyball, soccer, basketball, really fell in love with basketball, got a Division I scholarship to SMU, played some semi-pro basketball exhibitions versus like junior colleges. And yes, just an athlete. And it just wasn't fulfilling enough anymore. And so I just had an itch to figure something else out. My teammate and I got on a Google search, found flag football out in Rockwall, Texas. It was about 20 minutes away from SMU, 4-on-4 men's. And I was like, okay, let's do this. Run, catch. You know, I figure I have an athlete, I have eye-hand coordination, why not? So we signed up to play with the men. That's how the journey started, just recreational, just wanting to find something new to get into.
What about technical training? Like you have a killer arm, it's very clear. Even Deanna has said she modeled her throwing style after yours.
Oh, that's interesting. Because
Yeah.
I don't think a sidearm little whippersnapper is easy to model.
Sidearm
It's not traditional, but it gets there.
It's a great ball. I've caught it. I love it. No, how did you? Did you teach yourself? Did you get technical training?
No, honestly, I've never had technical training in quarterback life. People have asked me, V, will you come, train my daughter? Will you come train my son? I'll pay you. And I'm like, I feel kind of bad because I don't have technical training to give them technical style and techniques and stuff. So my throwing arm just comes from, I guess, genetics, and my brothers were quarterbacks. I played softball and I could throw from outfield to home base pretty easily. I was a catcher. If I saw somebody running and trying to steal second, I could stay in my squat and just get the ball there. So I've just kind of had a strong arm, and I didn't have traditional training, which is unique, but I built my arm by throwing a men's ball. It's like a weighted ball, constant training. And when I was forced to throw a youth-sized ball, I was like, oh, this is almost like a golf ball. Just
It's amazing. How did you get into Team USA then from there?
I got into Team USA because we saw a clip on YouTube that a Team USA existed, and we were like, whoa, how do I get into
how do I be part of that?
How do I make myself there? And so back then for USA football, the tryout style was just send a resume, some highlight videos.
Wow.
And playing football in 2010, I think social media was just starting to be born. Yeah. So I didn't have highlight reels. I didn't have a lot of things like that. So I just had like my resume of like inducted into the Hall of Fame, MVP awards, national awards. And so I sent that in, a few of the clips that came in, and I got the no. So that was a little frustrating.
Well,
but I didn't
there's
give
a
up.
lot in there. First of all, you're in the Hall of Fame in 2010 already.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Well, in Florida, flag football is really big. So they have the USFTL Hall of Fame, and I was inducted into that. And they have the FFFL, the Flag Football Florida Hall of Fame. So I was like one of the first Texans to be inducted into a Florida Hall of Fame.
Okay, so my next intro to you will be my Hall of Famer. And then they said no. Hall of Famer not good enough for Team USA. What's that about?
I don't know. I think it's all learning.
Somebody had a better mixtape?
Somebody had better mixtapes, and back then the football that people knew, I believe, was tackle football. So when you had teams like the New York Sharks and the Elite Spartans and like that, we call that pro football, and I think it's great. I love watching the tackle football. I love supporting the NFL, and I love supporting the women's tackle game. But however, to me, the term of pro is payment, and they're not there yet. But I think in USA football's recruiting scouting process, they said, we're going to go for pro players.
Yeah.
And at that time, all they knew pro to be was the tackle girls.
Right.
So they kind of were the insight. USA had a tackle team as well. So I think they just kind of knew each other in the same community. When they got into the flag community, when I did get a default accidental invite, not accidental, a player couldn't go. She became an NFL coach, Kate Sowers for the 49ers. A spot opened up. That's what got me in, and I think bringing me in, with one or two other flag girls on that roster, introduced a world of, wow, there's a whole nother community out there besides tackle players, which is flag players. And, you know, I always talk about flag players are like a different style of a dance than a tackle player. You know, I say a tackle player is like a hip hop, break dancing, it's hard. But a flag football player to me is like a finesse ballet, different type of footwork, different type of jab. You can't just grab somebody and throw them down. It's like, no, you really got to get in their bubble, in their space, and pull that flag. So our dance is different, you know?
That's a great
So I think it
metaphor.
opened up a different world of now how they recruit, and it's really from flag football dancers.
That's amazing. What a great metaphor. Okay, I'm gonna also acclimate people to. I'm gonna take us to 2023, 2022 actually, where we were at 72 and Sunny researching flag football on the way to our first NFL ad for the Super Bowl, where we got behind flag football on the biggest stage.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, dude, thank you for that.
Spreading the
Are you
love of our
kidding me?
game.
We're
We
coming to you on
appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah, and we thought there's a lot of good to be done there, but it started with research, and so, you know, just me, I'm a fan, but I had a feeling the game had evolved, but as we were like, where's flag football today? It was, the first impression was, holy shit, this is a bunch of badass athletes doing badass things. It is not the recreational sport,
No,
you know,
it's
that
not.
many of us older folks thought it was. And then, you know, the next thing you Google's like, so who's the most badass of the badass people? And your name comes up. And there's a few others, but you were the star of Team USA coming off championships. You guys famously went toe-to-toe with Mexico in the final that year. And you got revenge this past year. Well done. And
We've gotten revenge 3 times since then.
okay. I love it.
I'm
Okay.
just
Hall
going
of
to
Fame
put that
talk.
out there. We've gotten it 3 times since then.
Well, and so when we shaped that commercial, you became fundamental to being part of it, and Deanna Flores is obviously in it as the star running through it. But there's no version of that commercial where you're not like the symbol that you are at the end. Now, talk to us about, you know, that first experience, and then I'm gonna go from there to where we're going this year.
The first experience for the 72 and Sunny flag football commercial, right?
Yeah.
I think it was amazing. I think it was an amazing story. I love that our sport's being put out there. I love that it's getting, you know, representation from multiple countries and athletes. Because Bella was a tackle player coming in, so
Right.
she represented the tackle world a little bit, right? And a high school girl.
That's
So
right,
that's
Bella Rasmussen.
that's a neat role model to see. Like, oh wow, I can be a girl and play and have unique opportunities like this. So I think that commercial story is really fun, really cool, and unique. And I was honored to be a part of it and run out to it. And I felt like it was like the apocalypse, like all these people like chasing us down the street, like, ah. But I know they're just trying to get our flag. But I love where it's going and how the game's growing and how we're getting like put right in people's faces. Like, this is the real deal. This isn't some, you know, PE game that, I mean, I'm a PE teacher and I love it, but it's not just some PE game of like, tag your it, don't do this and run away from, you know, it's like, no, there's a skill set to this. There's a uniqueness and a creativity and explosion to this game that's very fun and entertaining that everyone can play. So seeing it put out there from 72 and Sunny and the NFL and USA football is like, it's wild, you know.
Plugs, but I appreciate you doing that. Well, tell me, from that time, that's 2 years ago, Super Bowl, to now, how's the game grown? How's it changed? It seems like it's grown from where we're sitting, but
How
from the
it
inside.
has changed. Well, in 2022, that was the World Games in Birmingham. That's when you did the commercial. I just finished coming back from Israel in 2021. And I bring that up because we were probably 12 to 15 countries represented, right? So then you get the commercial, you see that it's being played all over. You see that countries are great all over. And I think more people bite into it and invest into it and start creating tryouts. So we go to the World Games Finland, and it's the most amount of countries that have played.
Great.
So I think
This past August.
Yes, this past August. So I think what we're doing is spreading the game and showing the love of it from all over is just growing it more. And it's like the fastest growing game, not even on the elite, you know, international level that I play at with USA football. It's like growing an NFL flag and little boys and girls and, you know, more high school varsity sports are getting it, more colleges, D2's looking at it, D1's conversations are going about it. So it's just great that it has, in 2 years, which is wild.
Incredible.
It has grown like, I almost had a bad comparison, but it's really grown. I was going like wildfire. It's just like,
Yeah, obviously, yeah. It
was a bad comparison, but you know what I mean.
But yeah, it is. It just feels
Yeah.
it feels like an out of control, in a good way,
Yeah.
growth. Okay, well, that's great to know that from the inside it feels that way too. Because
Yeah,
from where
for
we're
sure.
sitting, it looks that way. And this year we've gone with the NFL. We're doubling down, and specifically with high school flag because we see so much potential there. When we started working on that concept, 13 states sanctioned it as a varsity sport. Since we finished filming, it's now 15.
Oh, wow.
And 18 are piloting it. So and usually those convert. So, our goal together is to get this thing in 50 states. What do you think, and I want to talk about the commercial just for a few minutes, but before that, what do you think, does it matter to have all 50 states sanctioning it as a varsity sport? Or what do you think the benefits will be of that? You started talking about D2 and D1. Does that put pressure on the colleges to make it like a scholarship sport?
Yes, I think it matters to get all 50 sports doing it. It
States.
grows, 50 states, I'm sorry, 50 states growing it, which Texas is actually finally talking about after shooting us down multiple years.
Friday Night Lights state's got to get it done.
We have a football state that doesn't believe in it yet. So, no, I definitely think the 50 states need to hop on it. Once we could show more, businesses are behind it, the NFL's behind it, commercials are behind it. There's like so many opportunities. So when we show that it's such a big deal, I think you can't turn your head and say, oh, I didn't know. So it's going to create that buzz. Like, we have to make a platform for these girls to be able to play this like it's a volleyball Division I, like it's a basketball Division I. And so the more we keep pushing the message and the agenda and growing it, you can't, there's no way you can say no.
That's awesome.
That's ridiculous.
Well, this year we have an ad that features, that takes place in a high school in 1985, where we have a displaced girl, basically from the future, trying to figure out how to fit in there. And she shows the sort of, she shows them what it's all about and takes it to the field after school at a tryout where you are Coach Krouch. We had all these stars from the international game fly in for it. We cast some amazing Team USA players or up and coming USA players, and then of course you were the leader of the group. Talk about what that was like just to show up there. And my observation was they all sort of idolized you. They were all kind of weird around you at first. It's like
That's interesting because I really feel just like a normal human. I'm just as commercial fangirling as they are, so I felt just as excited, just as nervous. So I didn't feel those vibes, but I'm honored that you saw that aura. It was just funny because like everyone in the extras were really like, "Are you really a coach?" I was like, "You just look like you just have that presence there," and I was like, I guess I kind of am, but not. I'm a PE teacher, but I do coach sports in that world. But no, the experience was great. Like I got to know, Mona and Gabby and, all the girls. I mean, I can say all their names, but I got to know all of them on a different level, and we just have such similar feelings and experiences and how much we all really want to grow this game together. So to be out here shooting this commercial of like a Back to the Future, Into the Future merge, it was really, really cool.
And you talk. Oh, so it was directed by Peter Berg of Friday Night Lights fame.
Love that show. Watch
Great show, right? If you love football, and even if you don't love football, it's like a great way to.
It's just a good drama, period.
Great show. And early in the day, I remember on the shoot day with you, we were talking about you, and he's aware of all your accolades and your position. I think he also was observing how the other girls were responding to you. And did you? I don't want to ruin the surprise, but he as I recall, he yelled across the field to you to ask you to do something because you were just kind of waiting for your role, right?
Yes. Okay. So if we're talking about,
so first of all, you're the coach. You're playing the coach.
So I'm playing the coach, right? And I'd gone over my stuff. I didn't have any script words that I had to say. So suddenly I'm just improvising, and it's really hard for me to be mean and drill sergeant and negative.
Did you have to be mean?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because you guys thought it was funny and wanted me to like drilling these girls like, we were at tryouts, we were playing football. I'd like to tell you that this was going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I'd like to tell you guys are going to be happily ever after. Some of us are going to end up divorced. And I was like, this is such a weird thing to, I'd like to say, you're going to have a fun practice, but you're going to work hard and you're going to throw up, and we're not going to just spit, spat, throw up. We're going to projectile throw up. I mean, it's like,
oh my God.
All these, like, that means you worked hard. If we see projectile, that equals hard work. And it's just all these things started coming to my mind. So he was like, V, just go at it. Just give it to him. And I was like, but my inside is very like, guys, we got this. Let's get together.
You said that. You said, I'm a positivity person.
And he's like, just give it to him.
He's like, we're going for victory through negativity, I believe was the word. Winning through negativity.
That was really hard, but I actually had a lot of fun. And the girls were cracking up and they loved it. And what's funny is like, I'm talking to this lineup of like tryout girls and I can see the camera and I see me yelling at them and I see them trying not to laugh, which is then reciprocating like, you better work hard. And you know, I was like, oh gosh. So yeah.
Well, I also love that Pete, you didn't just have a role as an actor. At one point, we were doing drills, and they have the assistant director directing all the talent to do things, or the sport choreographer, who was awesome. And then at some point, he said, you know what? I just want you. I think he said he wanted you to do it. Didn't he just say, V, why don't you just drill him?
Yeah. He was like, just go lead the drills. I was like, oh gosh. Like, okay, we're back in PE. I thought I had the day off today, but okay, let's line it up, girls. You're gonna head to this cone. You're gonna shadow her, and you're gonna sprint back, burst, and go catch. Like all of a sudden, it was like, in a weird way, when he said, just go do your thing, and I had a comfortable background with this as an athlete, as a coach, as a teacher, I was like, the cameras were gone. The directors were gone. It was just like me and practice drill time. And at that point, I go into like my OCD, like precision, perfection, work hard, get it right. And I told my kids the other day, I was like, I don't believe in practice makes perfect. I believe in perfect practice makes perfect. And I told my students, as if I go to the basketball gym every day for 5 hours, but all I do is practice double dribble and shooting grainy shots, that's not perfect practice making me perfect. So I had to tell them that, and they're like, oh. So that went to the mode right there. It's like, oh, this is not acting time. This is not like, we're gonna real practice. Like, we're gonna throw, you're gonna burst, you're gonna put your hands up, triangle style, and it's just, you just kind of forget. In that moment, I did kind of forget, like, oh, we're filming. It was
very cool. It definitely got all the athletes to step up.
Yeah.
Because we need highlight moments. We don't want to say they're great. That these are like incredible athletes. We want to see it.
Well, what's interesting too, I don't know if you guys saw that because we had our own hangout time, is I kind of feel like a small glue of people. Like I try to break the ice, be a little goofy, be a little silly, so we can all just relax. So when we all first met each other, I felt like we were kind of tight and kind of nervous, like what do we do, what do we expect? But I don't know what I said or did, and we just started being really extra goofy, and we just merged and bought into each other, and now we're laughing and doing our drills and trusting each other and posing our little like 80s hairstyle.
Oh my God.
So we kind of became our own little 72 family right there.
I'd love to see you guys in the Olympics, showing the world that we can all just like be humans together, not separate.
Yeah.
I would like to show you something. Before we wrap up, we only have a few minutes, but we put something together for you that we would like to have your reaction to this. This is a debut. This is a world premiere of a piece of content that I think may never premiere. I'm not sure. This was made specifically for you, and this is what we were seeing when Pete had you doing what he was having you do.
Oh my gosh!
All right, Mr. Berg, this is for you. Put the volume up. Okay, all the professional things. Here we go. Ready?
Ladies, today we make history. We're going to make warriors out of you guys. We're going to play football. The drills aren't easy. You're going to throw up today. You're going to work hard. You're going to sweat.
Look at that vein popping out. I'm serious.
When you vomit, your stomach is going to come out your damn throat. All right? You're going to see a projectile. That's a good vomit. That means you worked hard. A little skip, that's trash. Projectile, that's a real vomit. That tells you you worked hard.
Let's quote that. Quote that.
Come on now, that's awesome.
Projectile is hard work.
There's only one you, man.
But if you stare at that, you can tell I wanted to crack up.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot.
But now you have acting skills, so you did not.
You
broke a few times.
Post football career.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite pieces from that. Hey, before we wrap up, what are you hoping that the spot will achieve, the one that we're doing this year? Obviously, the end of it, and what you saw in that piece of content is NFLflag50.com. We're trying to get people to, support, maybe put some pressure on their states to, make it happen. If everybody wants it to happen, it'll happen. But what are your, your hopes for it?
My hopes for the commercial is to continue bringing awareness, is to now make the other 45 states pick up.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah, you said we were at 13, so 35. Yeah, sorry, 35. So I'm hoping to bring more awareness to it and keep pushing our agenda. Just creating more opportunities for these girls to keep playing. It's going to create, next the next group of leaders for us, and they're going to keep pushing our agenda. So I just think this commercial is just going to bring that exposure. It's going to bring more fun to it. It's going to show, how all of us are behind this movement. And if you don't hop on, you're going to be left behind.
Oh, that's awesome. You're such an inspiring person. I love our friendship. I appreciate it so much.
I love you too.
And you are such a great role model.
Thank you.
May you be in the limelight as long as we can humanly keep you in there. That is it for today. Thank you, Vanita Krouch, QB Team USA, flag football ambassador, flag football legend, and Hall of Famer, for joining me at NFL House for this super energizing conversation. That's it for now. Be sure to follow 72 and Sunny across social for more. We're going to go have some fun here in New Orleans.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're awesome.